Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where we are currently in Ormai with our ninja job quest. Yaka, what's up? And Desiree, Oboro got back not long ago, mumbled something about his trip to the village was uneventful, and dragged his beta cases off somewhere or another, looking at the ground all the while. Yaka knows how to read a curve, and something tells me your boy ain't right these days, like he's carrying a weight of a world on his shoulders. You know a lot better than anyone. You reckon there's somewhere he'd run off to if we were looking to clear that? Is there a waterfall in these parts, by chance? A waterfall? A regiment? I did hear the sound of running water when I went on a stroll the other day. Not quite sure I riddle ye, but if that's where you think the latter is, like as not, you're right. Let's go see if we can't ease his cares a bit. Is that a burrow? Bugger me, the lad has lost his bloody mind. Ah, Desiree. I had hoped to spend some more time alone with my thoughts, but it's just as well. It grows cold and I would warm myself by a fire. You know me all too well, Desiree. I suppose I should not be surprised. Well, you shocked the living wit out of me. I was expecting to find you in front of a waterfall, not in it. At first I did just that, Captain Yake. But when listening to the flowing water did not calm my heart as I hoped, I took the next logical course of action. I cannot explain it. I returned to my village fully expecting to be punished for my deception and chastised for my failure to perform my duty. Instead, I was greeted as a hero. The honorable shinobi who slew the villainous Karasu, traitor to our village and country. But it's all a lie. Master Gekkai was the traitor, but not for Karasu. Putting aside the foul deeds he performed in service of his final master, my eyes would have forever been blind to the truth. That day, I promised Karasu that I would keep the truth hidden and claim the glory and accolades in his stead. At the time I thought nothing of it. But it's just too much. Perhaps the man deserved to die for his sins. It's not for me to judge. But does he deserve to go to the grave as a hated villain, while I reap the fruits of deeds I can scarcely call my own? You really are too serious for your own good, lad. Let Yaka tell you a story. Once upon a time, well, maybe not so long ago, there was a dimmer Maud by the name of Milala, captain of a yellow jacket who was always more style than substance, if you riddle me. Long story short, Desiree and me did ourselves a good deed, but the last took the credit for herself. Did a part of me resent it? Sure, I got feeling as any other cove, but people in our business, including this Karasu, I reckon, need people like her. People to stand in the lightsman's and claim the glory, while we ply our trade in the dark. Milala might not have done the deed, but since when? They say she's a new woman, doing all she can to be the hero that people believe her to be. In not so many words, I guess what I'm saying is, other than clouding yourself in the knob about glory you feel you don't deserve, why not try live up to the person your friends would have you be? Thank you, Captain Yake. I must admit I'd never thought of it that way. Apo, forgive me, I have ready the falcon as you requested. Shall we pay Master Kamui a visit? Allow me to explain, my friends. Since returning, I have been researching the history of our village, in particular the life of our forefather, Master Sasuke, in hopes of better understanding our foe and the grudge he bears. The tales say that Master Sasuke came to Domo on a mission so secret, no records of it were ever left. Our elders too were at a loss. If any possessed knowledge of such ancient happenings, they said it would be the old hermit. That is what we call Master Kamui, An elder who retired from his post long ago and now spends his day in meditation at Plum Springs, pondering the meaning of existence to depths ordinary minds can scarce comprehend. Desiree, as my student, you too are an heir to Master Sasuke's legacy. I would ask that you accompany me to Plum Springs, that together we may learn the truth about the father of our art. Will you do this? Excellent. Plum Spring is not far from here, but we cannot bear on land. Tsubame was kind enough to summon the falconer. Let us return to Namai. I'm not sure I wouldn't know the Sasuke from a hole in the ground, but I'm coming with you, if for no other reason than I'm dying for a change of scenery. I hope you don't forget to put some clothes on. You reckon riding one of these things is much like riding a chocobo? It's said that the old hermit's mastery of ninjutsu is so complete that he requires no food nor sleep, and has conquered death himself. Mind you, it's also said that the source of these claims is Master Kamui himself. Master Kamui rarely accepts visitors, but the elders have assured me he awaits our arrival. Do not ask me why, but they say he's particularly interested in seeing you, Tsubame. In any event, Plum Spring is but a short and pleasant flight away. When you're ready to depart, pray speak to the falconer over there. Right there. With that falcon, apparently. This is the esteemed Master Kamui. I can scarcely await to hear what words of enlightenment he would share with us. A thousand apologies for the intrusion, Master Kamui. It is I, Oboro. I have come seeking knowledge of Master Sasuke and the founding of our village. If it would not be an imposition, pray share with us your great wisdom. Oboro. I don't know any. Oboro. My back. Every word I speak is dagger in me. No, if this won't do at all, I'll be needing my medicine. The usual of it is liver of a ancient tiger, horn of a rhino beetle, claw of a dominant weasel. Yes, that always does the trick. Yes, I simply cannot carry on a conversation in such pain. So be on your way, boys. You stay here, my little swallow, and keep an old man company. Forever with being a dagger in him, he surely likes this prattling. Oboro, Oboro. Have I ever heard that name before? Enlightenment, my ass, the old coot is a real piece of work. Oboro, yes, the dim little boy who could never quite match his wits and skills with his friend Karasu. Yes, that is I. It's my honor to bring you the medicine you seek, Master. Forgive me, friend. It seems we have little choice but to indulge the Master. Between the few of us, hopefully this will not prove too trying a task. Let us return to Namai. Yeah. Playing errand boy for Master Kamui, what a splendid turn of events. In any event, let us split up and make short work of this. I will hunt down a ancient tiger. Captain Yaka, pray see to the rhino beetle horn. Dese, I would entrust the dominant weasel claw to you. My apologies for troubling you with such a menial task, but I fear Master Kamui is nothing if not stubborn. In any event, let us return here when we have found what we seek. Desiree, I trust you were able to procure a weasel claw. Thank you, friend. I'm pleased to report that Captain Yak and I also were successful in our hunts. Let's return to Plum Springs and hope that Master Kamui is feeling more talkative. If it's all the same to you lads, I'll be staying here, thank you kindly. I'm like as not to give that old coup a clout on the knob, and I reckon your elders wouldn't take kindly to that. Yeah. I know how you feel, Yake. It's just me or does Master Kamui seem rather spry given his condition? No matter, let us give a man what he asked for. Yeah, because he's talking shit, wanting to get us off so he could play with a young lady. My favorite medicine never fails to put a spring in an old man's step. But, Master Kamui, we have not begun to boil the... Oh, forgive me. What I mean to say, it warms my heart to see you well. So, it was Sasuke's secret mission you wished to hear of, my boy. Let me see what I remember. It was oh so long ago. Once upon a time in Hingashi, in the time they call the Age of Strife, there lived a man named Hanzo. Hanzo the First, leader of the Kagekakushi clan, but he crafted a summoning mudra of terrifying power. Many a warlord had covered this power, that they might wield it to unify the warring states under their rule. Hanzo would hear nothing of it. Time and again he turned down prestigious posts and untold riches, declaring that the mudra would be used only in defense. He recorded his knowledge on a single scroll and sealed it away far from the eyes of man. Sometime later, a vagabond came to Kagekakushi. After the villagers nursed him back to health, he explained that he had fled across the sea from the land of Doma to escape the reign of a tyrant. So it was that Hanzo I, moved deeply by the traveler's story, called upon Sasuke, his most trusted protege, to carry the forbidden knowledge across the Ruby Sea and bring freedom to the people of Doma. Sasuke wielded the power but once, such was its power. In a matter of moments the tyrant's army crumbled before its might, and the Doman people at last knew freedom. But Sasuke felt that his job was not yet done. He resolved to remain in Doma and established a village here, that he might train his new countrymen to carry on his legacy and pass down the art of ninjutsu to future generations. That is the untold story of our village's origin. As for forbidden mudra by whose power Doma's freedom was won, who can say why our ancestors feared it so? All that we know is that he was not content to merely seal the scroll away, but took his blade in hand and sliced it clean in two. One piece was presented as an offering to the king of Doma in celebration of our nation's newfound freedom. The other he set away in his village, our village, never again to see the light of day. I suspected as much. Master Sasuke was no traitor or deserter, but a shinobi of honor. Even at the time, it was said that Hanzo I told none other but of Sasuke's true mission. Though unfortunate, it is little surprise that today, centuries later, his descendants see Sasuke as little more than a traitor who stole away with their greatest treasure and fled to a foreign land. Thank you, Master Kamui. This has proved more enlightening beyond my wildest hopes. Glad to hear it, boy. But don't think I take kindly to you interrupting my blissful enlightenment again. As for you, my little swallow, you are welcome to come back anytime. Sorry to interrupt your lecherous prattle prattle, but the princess here got news to share, and I am afraid it ain't the good variety. Although we must move quick, our men of fear have reported that the Kagekakushi clan musters their forces in full and means to march on Doma. No doubt Hanzo's figured out where the other half of the scroll lies. There's no time to lose. We must return at once and prepare to defend the village. Bad. We got spied on. This Hanzo doesn't waste any time, does he? Seems our job's simple enough. We need to grapple his half of the score before he gets his daddles on ours. Tsubame has gone to deliver news to the elders. Meanwhile, Princess Yuki makes for the Ruby Sea to look out for a Kagekakushi army approach. We know not the size of our forces' army nor their strength, only that both are formidable and then some. Suffice to say, we will be tested as never before. In what time we have, I implore you to devote yourself to your training as if our very lives depend on it. For surely they do. And clans collide. It's time, Desiree. The army of the Kagekakushi clan marches on Yangsha even as we speak. Princess Yuki keeps watch from afar, and she says the numbers are legion. We must gather our brothers and sisters of the village and make toward the Ruby Sea to meet them head on. There's one thing, however, that does not sit well with me. As Princess Yuki tells it, there's no sign of Lord Hanzo among the advancing army. But we met only the once. He does not strike me as a man who would stay home and let others fight his battles. He is surely plotting something, but what? Have you any ideas, Desiree? He would strike at our blind spot. But of course, he means to circle around and cross over to Yansha by way of the Azim Steppe, catching us from behind. And yet our foe vastly outnumbers us. We simply cannot afford to spread our forces thinner than they already are. If Hanzo means to sneak through the back door undetected, like as not he comes alone, I would trust the defense of the steppe to you. Go in safety, friend, and may the kami smile on us today. Can't speak to you, but getting caught between two squabbling ninja clans wasn't high on my to-do list. Still, we're on the ship together, so might as well see the voyage through to the end, I reckon. If that Hanzo shows up, grapple his half of a scroll for me, William. Alright, to the step. Okay. Pardon me, my girl. I seem to have lost my way. Could you show an old man to Plum Spring? Clearly you're as stupid as your friends, but it's too late. The scroll is returned to the hands of its rightful owner, and everything proceeds according to my plan. As expected, Doman Ninjutsu was a sad sight to behold. Where Sasuke Soi struggled to wield free Mudra, the joining of a Kagekakushi command 4 with ease. Bunshin no Jutsu, so we call it in the Hingen tongue. Mirrors and mirrors of mirrors is a matter of moments. My few loyal men appear from far away to be a legion. With all but a few abandoning the village to meet the challenge of my army, it was simple enough to put on the guise of the old man and walk out with what was rightfully mine. That's the difference between a true shinobi and the dormant horse sons who dishonor our name with her very existence. But the dishonor ends today. At long last I shall wipe the earth of the sons of Sasuke ashamed, the thief who stole my great ancestors' knowledge and consigned our proud clan to ruin. I should not waste my time with a false shinobi such as you, and yet there's sharpness and edge in your technique that your dormant friends lack. Yes, you should make a fine test for my newfound powers. Come, great beast, hands over hidden. The senate of your first master bids you come. Dread beasts. The failed ninjutsu creatures. You get on your head if you mess up the ninjutsu. What? What's the meaning of this? So fearsome their floppy ears, so terrifying their sharply protruding teeth, the audience gasps in horror. Terasu. You? I killed you! I thought you sharper than that, my friend. There was some semblance around the eyes, I admit, but the real me is so much more handsome. The lordling is dumbfounded. So stubbornly proud was he of his precious fourth mudra. Never in a million years did it occur to him that my master Gekkai had mastered the same technique. A technique he imparted to me. Oh, and if those lovely little creatures thumping around you didn't give it away, the scroll in your hands is quite fake. I couldn't very well let forbidden knowledge fall into wrong hands, now could I? Though you only succeeded in killing my mirror, you did try to kill me. I really didn't appreciate that. My poor little chick, you always end up doing the dirty work, don't you? But worry not, for this time at your side stands not a borrower of a dim or some two-gill rogues, but the most stylishly lethal shinobi this realm has ever seen. What say we cut this self-important sop down to size? You dare mock me? Your every breath brings shame to the ancestors of our art. My ancestors. You will pay for your insolence. Come! Let the show begin. It won't be a happy ending for you. You're not worthy of calling yourself a shinobi. You cannot strike, but you cannot see. Here's the real one. Quiver and fear before my might. You call that ninjutsu? Witness the skill of a true master. Come on, I know not everyone can do it, but a lot of shinobi can actually. Ah! Just die already, you unworthy mongrels! Cannot fail to the likes of you. No, that wasn't very smart, was it? You've come far, my little chick. I dare say you could teach a dim one a lesson or two. Spare Bo the details. I have a reputation to uphold after all. But it was rather exhilarating to fight on the same side for once. We really should do it again sometime. Till we meet again. Exit our hero, stage right. What's this you say? Karasu still lives? I knew a slippery red had another trick up his sleeve. All's well that ends well, eh? It seems that Karasu fellow was the right banner cover after all. Reckon you're lucky to have a friend like him. Lucky? For all the trouble he put us through, I would sooner have 1,000 arch enemies. You'll be pleased to know we made short work of the Kagekakushi's army. Soon as we realized there was mostly smoke and mirrors, it went long before we milled what was left of them. We could not have done it without you, Desiree. You are the savior of our village. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And we can rest easy, knowing that half of Forbidden Scroll is safely back in our hands. But if the half Karasu gave to Hanzo at the Isle of Becca was a fake, that means... Curse all that confounded crow! My duty is clear. I must pursue Karasu and recover the scroll. Tsubame, pray tell the elders that I will return to Eorzea for the foreseeable future. Do not mention Karasu's name. Remember, the official story is that the traitor is long since dead. Do not worry, Boro. I will see that the elders leave you alone, as I always do. Sharpened up a bit, have you, lad? Now, if you don't mind, I'll be taking the false scroll back with me to Limsa. If even that Hanzo couldn't whittle the difference, all the lane and the Krakens aren't like to know any better. Desiree, Oboro, it was my honor to lend my blade to your cause. I wish I could have cut down a few more of Hanzo's henchmen, but oh well, I suppose one can't have it all. Now I must return home to... Hells, I've forgotten Akagi. The poor fool's probably tearing the realm upside down looking for me. I must be off, friends. The mod keeps you on your toes, I give you that. And with that, I'd best be moving my due beaters as well. Then I too shall take my leave. My friends, it was ever an honor to fight by your side. Desiree, if you're not in a hurry to return to your adventures, I would have a word with you. Pray meet me at the storehouse upon your return to La Noscia. You know, we could just travel together and talk along the way. Wouldn't that be nice for once? But that is not how this game works. Desiree, thank you for coming. I've been reflecting on my recent events and contemplated what it means to walk the path of a shinobi. I know you to be a contemplative sort as well, so I would share with you my thoughts. When I first came to Eorzea, I thought only of fulfilling the duty entrusted to me by my elders. It would be no exaggeration to say that it was my sole purpose in life. Meeting you, learning the truth of Master Gekkai from Karasu. These events changed me. In the end, I forsook my duty in favor of following my heart. I faced my old master in combat and slew him for his treachery. Even after that, I remained in Eorzea to follow my own sense of duty. But even though I believed in the path I had chosen, in my heart of hearts, a part of me was unsure. Is my true home not my village? Is my true duty not to the brothers and sisters I left behind? I've pondered time and again the story of Master Sasuke as told by the old hermit, and at long last it's clear to me. Master Sasuke could have returned home after freeing the people of Doma from the tyrant's reign. In fact, one could say it was his duty to do so. Instead, he chose to remain there, and founded the village where I was raised. It was not his duty, at the very least not a duty tasked to him by his master, Hanzo I, but rather a cause he took up of his own accord. In this sense, I cannot blame the descendants of a Kagekakushi from viewing him as little more than a dishonorable renegade worthy of scorn. Nevertheless, Master Sasuke was willing to forsake his legacy and the recognition of his people to follow a path he truly believed in. I have no intention of abandoning my village entirely, but I too would follow in my ancestors' footsteps in my own humble way. My first mission that I have given myself is to track down Karasu and bring the stolen scroll back to the village where it belongs. He's ever an elusive bird, and the task will not be easy, but I welcome the challenge. But forgive me, Desiree, I've rambled on enough. You've proven yourself to be a true shinobi, and more than that, a true friend. I look forward to a day that we can stand together once more. Tenchi-jin. This concludes the ninja quest for Stormblood. Continue with finish Shadowbringers and the road quest Courageborn of Fear. That is the final road quest of the physical DPS road quest line of Shadowbringers. Once you've done so, the next ninja quest will be available from Oboro. Against the ninja. Not sure that skill works yet, quite yet, but it's of cooldown, of course. Okay. Then I test it alone later on. This shall be the end of this episode. Until next time, when we play more Final Fantasy XIV, I am Ace, and don't get lost.